Okay, so you're self-funded then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Impressive. Self-funded. How difficult or easy was it? Because obviously somebody is going to be watching this and thinking, oh, everyone likes cars, I could sell cars. How difficult or easy was it?
That is the biggest mistake, like saying I could sell cars. Selling cars is one of the, I've had my downs selling cars, but like I said, business is a risk. It's not the, if I would advise anyone, you have to be really careful going into car selling, because sometimes customers could be, they're always right, like people say, but they could be quite difficult in the sense that a customer will tell you, oh, I want like this spec, I want so like leather seat, I want like electric, like the customer will give you the specification of what he wants, but at the end of the day, when you get it, the customer might just come up with a little bit of excuse like, oh, he doesn't like have this, but the customer never told you that initially. Then you have to like leave the car to sell to someone else. So that means your capital is tied down.
Yeah.
So car business would be a bit
it's risky.
Funny. Then you have to think about the parts. Like if you're buying this car to send to this social country, are you sure the parts are available in that country? Are you sure people will be able to like get the good mechanics for those cars in that country? So you have to really know what kind of cars you're going into. But in the Nigerian market, for example, you could go for like Honda, Toyota. So because most people use that, and most people are like very literate about, the mechanics could be literate about it. But when you talk about countries like South Africa, they're not into Honda, they're not into Toyota, they're more into Golf and some other cars. So you think about it, taking the cars South Africans like to Nigeria and taking the cars, it's not going to work. So you really have to know your stuff about it.
Because what's just occurred to me actually is this is quite interesting, because what you are is part of what's happening now, which is the emerging market.
Yes.
So would you say business has actually picked up in the last few months?
And to be honest, I was really affected during the recession based on the fact that you're not aware of, like, you don't know what, like today, dollars might be low. After you do your business, dollar will like increase. So definitely that's a loss for you, because when you do the business, dollar was in your favor, but after getting the business across to the customer, dollar was not in your favor. So definitely I was affected. But what I do now is I make sure when I get it across to you, at that point what dollar is saying is what I'm going to charge you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was affected, to be honest.
On the average, how many cars do you sell a week?
A week, and it depends. You can't really phantom that based on the fact that sometimes customers might come in a week and buy 2 cars or 1 car. Some customers might come in 1 week and buy 5 cars, and at times customers will come throughout a week. So, but on the average, I could talk about a monthly thing.
In a month, roughly how many?
I think in a month, I could talk about like selling, on a good day, on a good month, I could talk about like selling 10 cars.
10 cars?
Yeah.
All right.
In a good month.
And what's your profit looking like for these 10?
Profit definitely was, at times you smell.
That's a bit unfair. What's your revenue like? So
no, I'm not gonna divulge.
Okay. We're just trying to work out if it's viable.
If it's viable.
If it's commercially viable. Because somebody might be watching and think, I want to invest in it.
Okay, what I would say is, I wouldn't say it's viable. It's viable if you're long in the business, if you know the business very well. But I wouldn't say it's a trade you should just jump into.
Okay.
That's all I say.
Let me try a different technique. Because the thing is, we need some figures to be able to place if the business is worthwhile. Do you see what I mean?
All right.
So we'd use a one car. How much would you buy an average car?
Okay, an average car. Okay, let me give an example. Okay, I bought a Toyota sometime in America, and everything I used to get the Toyota across to the customer was like $15,000.
So that's what, 10,000, 12,000 pounds?
Like 13,000 pounds. So after I sold it for like $27,000. So that's what you can get. But at times you end up selling. If you buy for 14, some customers will end up paying like 17,000. So it's just 3,000. But on a good day, I make that kind of like profit, like 14 to 27 at times. That's double the price. But it depends on the customer you're dealing with. Some customers love to spend money, and some will be quite tight.
Because you're a relatively small export business, do you find that shipping costs over to the East are quite expensive?
I would say shipping from the UK down to anywhere could be, compared to America, it's quite cheaper, because in the UK you ship a car. It depends. If you're shipping a van, you ship a van for like 1,800 or like 1,000, sometimes 800. But if you're shipping a van with goods in the van, like you buy engines to sell, because I do that, buy engines, buy some things to put in the car, in the van, you could end up like selling that for £1,400 pounds. But from America, sending just one car, it's $1,700. Wow. So the UK could be quite better sending cars, but it depends, because the Nigerian market is not going to buy.
Yeah, it's in America.
Yeah, so that's just it.
Okay, interesting. Do you have any regrets so far? So are there any lessons you think that, if I had my time again, I wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't have done this?
Yeah, I do, to be honest.
Do you want to share them?
Yeah, and sometime I diverted some of my funds into like properties, and trust me, with properties you can never go wrong. So at times I wonder, I'm like, because I'm thinking of diversifying into properties real time, big time now, because with properties...
Where, can I ask where? Where?
In the UK.
In the UK.
Yeah. And with properties, you can when the market is not good, you can just stick around to make sure when the market is good you sell. But you know, with cars depreciate. Like if you buy a car today, tomorrow the value is gone. But with property, instead of it to depreciate, it goes up. So I would any day